people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
Don't do this for nothing. No. On the ground, yeah. But I don't do this shit for nothing. No, no. Not at all. Yeah. But my money real. That you do. Oh, yeah. So I don't do this shit for nothing. No. Not at all. Oh. I told her I got it. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So I don't do this shit for nothing. Not at all. On the brain level. I still motivate.
Back in this bitch like I never left. Stand for some shit that you never read. Passing through stages in life, through the ups and the downs, like it's all just another test. Live by the rules like a fucking ref. I got respect in 100 sets. Too many chains, need another chest. Playing no games if it wasn't chess. Cut from that cloth that you couldn't stretch. Cut from that circle you couldn't test. Heavily pressured and under stress, even though niggas ain't sure we was a mess. Honest attempt, blame to the left. Judge a young nigga by their trench. Left us no option, what they expect? Only thing we knew for sure is the bait and set. Fuck living basic, I'm taking risks. Fuck what they saying, I'm saying this. Don't waste your testament, don't make you rich, it don't mean nothing, so fuck them, let's make a grip. Double up, triple up, make assists. Ballin' so hard you can pay a bitch. Lead to the lake if they wanna fish. Make sure them niggas around you stick to the script. It should be written in stone. You should come visit my zone. Don't take my word, double check all of my flows. Ask them how hustle got on, but fuck what you heard. This for who walk down that road. Sold everything but they sold. Third off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds. Address to whom it make it. Look, a lot of niggas fail, but I won't. A lot of niggas fold, but I cope. A lot of niggas gone, but I'm home. A lot of niggas off, but I'm on. A lot of niggas lost on this road. Couple niggas gave up they goal. Gang of niggas traded they soul. With me, I'm standing on 10 toes. Looking out my Benz window. Wonder where my friends all go. Scared to give my heart to this girl. Paranoid she gon' leave if my hands get low. Knowing that this game to be played, but I'm knowing that this game to be changed. I should be afraid of afraid. I'm just trying to live up to the meaning of my name. I'm just trying to live up to the niggas in my gang. I'm just trying to live up to my moment on the stage. I'm just trying to live up to the truth of my pain and the power that it gave me on the youth for today. I put a coupe in a safe, and I shoot from the waist. My time is money, and I ain't got a second for you flukes and you fakes.
How do you dream for my walls? How do you dream for my niggas? How do you dream for my brother? I do that shit with my niggas, yeah. How do you dream for my walls? How do you dream for my niggas? How do you dream for my brother? I do that shit with my niggas, yeah.
Really taking trips more than often this month. When I call, they pulling up 2, 3 stream up. You ain't doing enough for the clan. How I feel if I gotta sit it down? How the fam gon' feel? 120 in a euro, one hand on the wheel. I was just broke, ran through a $250,000. Can't believe I'm still here. Shed tears for the dead. Cubes in my daughter chest, she don't even wear. Pop my little brother up, you know we took it there. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I fear. Only thing that I fear. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I fear. A lot of niggas queers, a lot of dope in the air. A lot of niggas queers, a lot of dope in the air. Styrofoam contaminated, got a nigga meditating. I said it got a nigga meditating. I can't even eat, listen medicated. I can't even sleep, listen medicated.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me double check, make sure we're good here. We should be good. Let me see. Cool. We are good. We should be good here. Cool. Man, I feel like it's been so long. Right? Long weekend. We had a lot of news last week. Right? Presidential elections and all. And then we have a little bank holiday, right, for veterans. And now we are back on it. New week opening gap here, gap up. And let's hop into it. Right, on the weekly candle, kind of general thesis, right, is we're gonna have something that trades down into it a little bit, but I would anticipate we get like a bullish close, kind of like this, right? We create that, if we want to create that busy on this weekly chart, right? We'll get a little bit of a down move, right? Trade into this last week's price action a little bit, and then we get that expansion to the upside, right? Getting that bullish close, something similar to this candle right here, right? We get a little trade below, and then we'll get that expansion to the upside. That's what I'm kind of thinking overall on the weekly, right? Continue that bullish order flow that we've got last week, right? Especially at like all-time highs now, and especially after last week, right? Bullish until we're not, right? Bullish until we're not. We're gonna be anticipating all the discount arrays get respected, and we just have to wait for, you know, higher time frame price action shifts in market structure that are bullish, right? So we'll hop into that on the lower time frame. But as for the 1 hour, or the, what is this, daily, right? We have a possible daily imbalance that we could fill right here, right? That would match, that would align with our weekly outlook of trading down a little bit, fill in some imbalance, and then we get continue the move to the upside, right? Maybe we trade down into here, this fair value gap here. We're only about 40 handles away from it. All right, we get a little move down, trade into this daily imbalance here, and then we keep pushing to the upside, right? Overall, right, 4 hours still keeping that bullish order flow, right? Traded to a small little busy here, right? But overall, we're looking at if we're looking at short-term lows, there's a small little short-term low right here, technically, right? So we trade down into this 4 hour busy, right? Looks like candle bodies are respecting it, right? So we just gotta keep riding that bullish order flow. We have a fair value gap here with those, it looks like relatively equal lows, but it's one tick. This one's one tick lower than this one, so that's looking good. Overall, 1 hour, right? Still bullish. We have a nice little 1 hour busy here, right? That almost has this high on top of it, right? But it looks like we're getting, it's kind of slowly just working itself up. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we come and take these lows one more time. Right, you also have relatively equal lows on top of this 1 hour imbalance as well. All right, but let's see if we can get a feel for things today. That's kind of my objective on the day, kind of get a feel for price. Where's price going? Right, we know it's going higher, but I think it might go lower before it goes higher. Right, on the 15-minute, not really any clear order flow, right? We're just efficiently working price up. Yeah, on the 15-minute, right? Definitely making super efficient price action, right? Not leaving any imbalances behind, or any no imbalances, no draws on liquidity. Kind of just slowly grinding price higher, right? So we'll kind of sit on their hands, wait for a little bit more information. We just started the first AM macro, and we have I want to say some FOMC members speaking at 10. But other than that, right, that's an orange folder. That's not even a red folder. We have a bunch of red folders going on this week. CPI, PPI, unemployment claims. Powell speaks on Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time and then core retail sales on Friday. A lot of 8:30 news this week. So we could just use this as a reading day, right? It looks like we got some just very efficient price action, right? Very efficient price action. Right, as for like buy side liquidity targets, we have relatively equal highs here. And we also have a single high inside this 15-minute imbalance, right, that we could draw towards. It's just finding a discounted rate that we could buy, right? Something below the open, right? We have this drop down right at 5:15 Eastern time. There's not really any inefficiencies, right? The only thing I could see us doing is like just coming down quick, purging all this or some of this sell side liquidity, right? And then getting that displacement to the upside. But there's not really any efficiencies, right? So we just kind of gotta sit on the hands and let price do its thing until we get more information. Right, this is where we practice some patience here today. Right, we got a lot of red photos going on this week, so I don't think they're gonna be a lack of opportunities, right? Especially since they're at 8:30, right? By the time it rolls around to the first day of macro, right, it should be one directional by then. So we'll kind of just see what this first day of macro plays out. But we do have some buy side liquidity targets up here that I would anticipate price moves up into. All right, but we've had one crazy weekend on the crypto side of things. All right, we have Bitcoin nearly touching 90K. 90K Bitcoin nearly touching, which is pretty gnarly. Right, pretty gnarly. I'm talking about 20,000 in like a week. Right. 20,000 in a week. Let's actually check that out real quick. We could check out the futures as well. Oh, they do have the futures. Continuous. Oh, I guess on the contracts it already went and hit 90,000. Right, but right, what a week for Bitcoin. You're talking about less than 5 days ago. Let's check out the 5-day chart. 5-day chart, yeah, 69,000. All the way up to the futures charts, it already hit 90,000. About 30%. We're sitting at about 25% in the last 5 days. Not too bad. Not too bad. Look at that weekly candle. Looks a little bit different because it's on the futures, right? Because it opens at different times, but nonetheless, right? Completely displacing above all-time highs here. Right, we have some. It's on the weekly. Yeah. You know, we were getting long here, right? That weekly shift in market structure, fair value gap, getting long inside of there. Right, but getting some real good displacement above all-time highs here. Right, real good displacement above all-time highs. Let's flip back over to ES. Where you at? E-mini. Yeah, here we go. Let's check out the micros real quick. Yeah, looking similar, right? No inefficiencies, right? If we're looking at this price leg, that's moving up, right? We have no inefficiencies in there. It's all efficient, right? It's working price back and forth. It's working back and forth, right? Price is working back and forth. Even on this displacement leg down, right? If we're looking for this to, right, purge sell side liquidity, we would want to see that displacement up, right, to the upside. Then we could get that fair value gap and go long inside that fair value gap. But we're kind of just like slowly grinding here. So we'll be super patient and sit on the hands. Well, that's something on Friday. We could review this, right? This little short setup on Friday. Yeah, we purged the previous day's high, relatively equal highs from London session, and then we got this shift in market structure. But as you can tell, we were very, very bullish, right? Even on Friday when I thought we were going to retrace back into the range, right? We had some sell side liquidity targets. Nothing that's super major, right? But we had some sell side liquidity targets here at the lows, as well as I think there was a 15-minute imbalance inside of here, right? So, you know, everything lined it up, but it was just, we closed out the week, even on a Friday, very, very bullish. Right, very, very bullish. A slight retracement in the PM session, but that's about it. What day was that? The 8th. Make sure that was 8th. Yeah. Gucci gang. All documented inside the journal, inside the Notion journal, right? If you want my free, like the same Notion journal that I use, right? That template, check the description, right? It's for free, right? It's something that I've been working on for over a year and a half, right? Something that's I put together that I currently use right now. Kind of track each account that I'm trading, as well as, you know, all the monthly returns, announcement notes, journal pages, like I call it book pages, like all the study material that within trading, right? A bunch of book pages and such, all in the description for free. What's good, Young FX? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? How are you? All right, so yeah, I mean, even if you drop down to the lower time frame, look at these 1 minute candles, right? These 1 minute candles. Oh, these are on the micros, but even on the minis, it's very similar, right? So we just keep sitting on our hands, being patient here, right? No rush to get into something, especially after day after holiday, right? Usually less than ideal price action, right? We're kind of seeing that play out here, but until we get some, right, that good manipulation displacement on this 15-minute here, right, I'm gonna be sitting on the hands. All right, I'll be sitting on the hands, right, because I do want to go long, but there's no real discount or raise or liquidity, right, unless we get like underneath this low that I'd be interested in, right, and going long. Same with the, even with the 1 hour, right? Even with the 1 hour, this is all efficient price action within this leg here, right? What I like is this 1 hour imbalance here, right, from Friday, as well as this Thursday imbalance, right? If we're looking at this leg up here, I mean, just like on a more semi-macro perspective, yeah, it's this one. Even this one with this single low inside of it is in a discount, right? If we're trying to retrace back to equilibrium before the next move up. But remember that weekly candle, right? Would anticipate a little short drop down into that potential weekly imbalance, right? Before getting that expansion to the upside. That is something that I will be watching. All right, so now we're getting some little displacement to the downside here. Just want to check this out as well, just kind of just see where we're at within this range here. Yeah, we did come up to that 50% right there. All right. Right, we're also inside that first hand macro. Possibly getting some displacement below the short-term low here. Right, short-term low, 2 up candles, right? Purge some buy-side liquidity. And then let's see if we get the displacement here. But not really interested. I mean, we'll see how this plays out, but not really interested in taking shorts just quite yet. Right. But that would line up with the weekly candle, right? If we're going to get that weekly candle expansion to the upside, we'll probably use Monday, Tuesday, make that down move, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know, get that expansion to the upside. Or kind of just go sideways. But we got a lot of news drivers going on this week, so I think we'll get some good manipulation, right? Good manipulation, right? Because if we end up shifting the market structure right here, and this is all efficient, right? Price is coming for this single low down here. All right, but let's see. We got a lot of time before this candle closes, as well as the next candle closes, for us to potentially get this displacement to the downside. So we shall wait and see. We're also still inside that new week opening gap, right, which is a magnet for price. You can see price has just been going sideways inside of there. But let's see if we create this SIBI, right, with this current 15-minute candle and the next current 15-minute candle. So we'll be waiting for that. this candle closes and we start displacing to the downside very quickly with leaving this open, and then we get that bullish shift in market structure after purging some of the sell side liquidity, right? That would be something I would be more interested in, because then this would be acting as more of an inversion fair value gap, right, to keep going and working our way up higher. If not, right, I can see us trading down into that 1 hour imbalance down here, right? There was another 1 hour imbalance down here with some relatively equal lows on top of it that we could possibly be trading down into, right? We'll kind of just see how this next 30 minutes forms, right? All the way up until around that 10:30 turn here. All right, but we'll keep sitting, being patient, right? Looks like we got that 5-minute shift in market structure right here. We got about 2.5 minutes on this candle, so we shall see if we leave this open or not, right? Open or not. We will be patient here. We will be patient here, right? There's no really inefficiencies, major sell side liquidity that's just resting, right? So let's see if it builds up buy side liquidity, right? Or if we just slice through this real quick, leave this imbalance open, right? Which would also leave the 15-minute imbalance open. Get that shift in market structure bullish, right? Use this as an inversion fair value gap, right? To keep working up towards those relatively equal highs up here, and then that single high. Right, so we'll pay attention to that. All right, we got about a minute until this 5-minute candle closes, so we'll see if we get this little 5-minute busy curated. Right, so we closed on that 5-minute. We created this 5-minute SIBI right here. So let's check out the 15-minute candle closes in about 5 minutes. All right, we'll see if we can get a closure below this short-term low here. All right, get a closure below the short-term low. And then we got that next 15-minute candle being created as well. Right, as well. So let's see, right, trading back up into this 5-minute imbalance here. Right, if we're still bullish, it shouldn't respect this 5-minute imbalance, right? Right, if we start getting that displacement to the upside and we return back into this imbalance and we get a bullish shift in market structure, right, that would be something I'd be interested in.
broke, you ain't nothing, bro. Seen a gang of rich niggas get comfortable. Then looking at they watch like where the fuck it go. Through my eyes I learned lessons like time is of the essence in my grind.
Right, we're just outside that first AM macro as well.
Put myself in the game, but batteries
Looking like we could possibly get that to and through, right? This fair value gap here.
niggas come second, so I kick the dough down, getting more now. Nigga need at least like 30 for the show now. Whoa now, realest out of SoCal. Baby wanna fuck, I'm like, slow down. I mean cheese eggs in my hotel. Hustle so
Right, but we'll sit and be patient a little bit longer. See what this 15-minute candle presents us. Right, it's gonna close in about 12 minutes, and let's see if it creates that Sibi, or if it. I'm pretty sure we're tracing back up into it. So it kind of depends on where this 5-minute candle closes, right? Where that 15-minute candle is gonna end up closing, right? So if we don't get that closure below here, right, still bullish, right? Looking for that bullish price action. So would be looking for this fair value gap to get disrespected, right? Traded to and through, right? Maybe we get a displacement above this short-term high, and then we retrace back into this Sibi, right? Use it as an inversion fair value gap, and then wait for that lower time frame shift to market structure to continue working our way up higher, right? Going for these relatively equal highs here, right? As well as this single high inside of this. Easier to see on the 15-minute. I mean, it's the same, but right, relatively equal highs on the 15-minute, as well as that single high inside this imbalance here, right? This buy side liquidity, right? Inside, right? This is more significant when it's inside an imbalance right here. We also have relatively equal highs right below it, so that's solid. All right, we got about a minute and a half here until we get this 15-minute candle closure, right? So we'll be watching that, see if we get that closure below this short-term low, right? Or if we don't, right? That's what we'll be watching here.
no guarantees, but you know that niggas die every day, can't control that. King Griffey throwback, nigga had to go left, must have popped 28 times cause it's 4 left. If it's about mine, ain't a nigga that I won't check. Run through your hardest homeboy, you could go next. 85 cut dog, hustle had the Rolex, chain on my white tee, now you see the progress. Stacked every chip on myself, time to collect. All
85,
money in, just imagine what I gross back. Fuck where your hoes at, or where your rolls at, where your
Where your
backbone, nigga,
backbone.
where your code at. Where your down since day one, real bros at. Where them stories that you telling unfold at. Where your heart, nigga, where your soul at. We got old school ways we expose at. Ain't no guarantees, but you know that. Niggas die every day, can't control that.
That's why I call my thing the marathon, because I'm not gonna lie and portray this ultimate poise like I've had it figured out. Nah, I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what gonna separate whoever.
All right, so we got about
trying to go
20 seconds here.
you ain't gonna
We're dabbling around that area that we're waiting for this candle to close at.
Fuck where your hoes at, or where your rolls at. Where your backbone, nigga, where your code at. Where your down since day one, real bros at. Where them stories that you telling unfold at.
All right, so we didn't get the closure below,
We got old school ways we expose at.
right? Below that short-term low.
But you know that. Niggas die
So let's see if we even,
control that.
let's see if we close this in, right? We'll be looking for that to get closed in.
we have to reassess how we react. You know what I mean?
All right, let's check out that 5-minute again.
Known as
Right, so we didn't quite fill that in. So let's see if we can, on this current 5-minute candle, get up there, close this in, right? This remaining Sibi open. Trade to the top of this, right? Which is this single low here. Hopefully you guys are able to follow here, this 5-minute Sibi that I'm watching. Right. Right there. See if we can trade to the top end of this fair value gap. Right.
Where your down since day one, real bros at. Where them stories that you telling unfold at. Where your heart,
That's what we'll be looking for here.
got old school ways we expose at. Ain't no guarantees, but you know that. Niggas die every day, can't control that.
right? Semi overlaps with that 15-minute imbalance, right? This 5 minutes to be here. But looking for this 15-minute candle, right? We can start off going down, but looking for that bullish close, right? Trading above this fair value gap here on the 15-minute. Completely closing in this potential SIBI, right? That's what I'll be looking at, right? If price still wants to grind its way up higher, right, it should close in this 15-minute SIBI here. If it doesn't, right, price might be rotating and shifting lower, but I would anticipate, right, I prefer this getting closed in, right? This 15-minute candle closing bullish, right, and trading above this low here, right, this high end of the fair value gap. That is what I prefer. But if price is wanting to, you know, take sell side one more time, right, then I'll leave this fair value gap open. Then we'll get that smaller shift in market structure inside of there. But I prefer it getting closed, right, and we keep working our way up higher. Alright, so we're sitting, being patient, waiting for this 15-minute candle close. It'll kind of give us a little bit more information on what price is potentially wanting to do. Alright, we got about 10 minutes before this 15-minute candle closes, and then we'll kind of get a little bit more information from there. Right, just while we're kind of hanging out here, right, just as we're kind of hanging out here, something that I also implemented, right, just thinking about, shout out JCap, right, thinking about JCap and his journey from, I think he took two, if I'm not mistaken, two 200K accounts, spent about $2,500 on them, right, and was able to withdraw you know, almost $250,000, you know, without blowing any accounts, which is those 2 accounts. So along that same mindset, right, as the accounts drop into drawdown, cutting risk in half, right, after it hits like certain metrics. So like one of the accounts is about 3%, I want to say. Yeah, 3%, 3 and some change in drawdown. So, you know, just not losing that account, dropping the risk in half, right? Cutting the risk in half from whatever this master account is taking risk at. Stay in the game longer, right? Won't blow any accounts. And we'll just have to grind our way outside of drawdown, but, you know, just taking the same setups, right? So whatever the master account's taking at, right, we'll take it at half risk. Something that I think will be advantageous for the plan in the long run, for sure. Still adding 1 account at a time right now. I know a few weeks back I was trying to go a little bit more aggressive with 2, but just given the situation, right, dropping it down to 1 because I just kind of, yeah, I think it's better pacing and better use of capital, right? Because there's not a lack of funding. That's not the bottleneck of my business right now, of the trading business, is not the lack of funding, right? It's just reaching a payout in each account, right? Which just happens over time, right? With enough trades, enough time, right? Following the plan, that's just a byproduct, right, of following the plan, right? It's being able to withdraw from the account in the long run, right? So, right, requiring more funding, but more worried about taking good setups, right? Following the plan and yeah, taking good setups. That will in turn get us to where we're trying to go, right? Which is first payout by the end of the year. I think I mentioned that in January or something, that January or July, that my overall goal for the rest of the year was to get a payout by the end of the year. I want to say, let me see. Let me check here. Somewhere around there, right? July, June, I was talking about, right? Just taking it conservative, right? And looking and expanding the time horizon on which achieving a payout, right? Instead of like, oh, I'm gonna get a payout next month or this month, this week, right? I get myself to the end of the year, before 2025, right? Just looking to slowly build the accounts, create that buffer, going into the end of the year, get that first payout, right? And then we will be setting up very nicely going into 2025. You know, I wanted to go into 2025 with 300,000 in funding, right? And we're already at 350,000, and we're still in 2024 with about maybe, what is that, for 6-7 weeks left in the year, right? Maybe even a little bit more than that. So, you know, just looking at the longer time horizon, right? Finishing out this year within trading, finishing out 2025. How does that want to look, right? How do I want to set myself up leading into 2025, right? Account wise, buffer wise on the accounts, right? Who am I trusting for the funding journey, right? Because that's a big deal as well, right? I want to be investing in a company that has a good reputation of paying out, right? Because that's what we're trying to do here, right? So we're trying to get some payouts. So, with all those in consideration, right? Setting ourselves up in the best position possible leading into the new year. Right? That's kind of the goal, right? That's kind of the goal, to set up to have a really good 2025, fully funded, buffers created on the accounts, right? Plan is set in stone. And then we could really just focus on executing the plan and getting that good data, right? Acquiring that good data to make better and more informed decisions, and kind of give us like some little feedback loops to kind of measure how we're doing. But, right, more importantly, setting up for 2025 to be able to have more consistent payouts, right? That's kind of the goal here. That is kind of the goal. Right, if we create the buffer on the accounts, then that'll be more practical, and set ourselves up better to have more consistent monthly payouts going into next year. Right, so we got about 2 minutes here. We're getting close to the open of this candle here, so we'll see if we can close this potential SIBI in all the way. We'll see. We got about 2 minutes left in this candle. All right, we're about 5 handles away, 6 handles away. See if we close this in all the way, right? And if we don't get that shift in market structure inside that 15-minute SIBI that it's possibly creating right here, and we do get that that displacement above, right? I'll be looking for the same thing as I was explaining on this 5-minute, right? This 5-minute SIBI, same. All right, we got about 30 seconds before that 15-minute candle closes. All right, so it looks like within the last 10 seconds here, looks like we will be creating this 15-minute SIBI, right? So the next thing I will be watching, right, is if this next 15-minute candle trades to and through this 15-minute SIBI, right? Looking for that bullish closure outside of this fair value gap here. If not, and we do get that shift in market structure inside of here on the 1 minute, I mean, we'll see. The timing within things might just be sitting on the hands, right? Might just be sitting on the hands. All right, let's actually refine this. I know. Let's see here. Got that 5-minute that 5-minute SIBI. Yeah, not rushing into anything just yet, right? Not looking to rush into anything. All right, building up some buy side liquidity here. All right, kind of just wait and be patient. Let price do its thing. Tell us what it wants to do. If we leave these relatively equal lows here, right? For me, that's just building up more sell side liquidity. Right, we have this single low here that creates this low. price comes, almost creates a single low with it. We just purge that little low and create more relatively equal lows all across the board right here. So if we trade back up into this 15-minute / 5-minute Zibi and we get that shift in market structure, well, guess what? We have some low-hanging fruit that we could target here. This is actually a small little range though, but nonetheless, right? We have a small little sell side liquidity, low-hanging fruit target of these relatively equal lows that we can definitely aim for. But let's see if we trade back up into there and get that shift in market structure. But I like how we built that liquidity up right here. All right, some sell side liquidity. Right, so we'll build up this liquidity and then see where we're at heading into the second AM macro here. Damn, they stopping our music. They stopping our music. Yes, we're still watching. Let's go. Mean that, but I want to taste. Alright, looks like we're getting some smaller little 1 minute shift in market structure here after creating those relative equal lows. but I will be patient, right? I will be patient. There's a couple of reasons why I don't like this one, right? I do anticipate that we're going to trade back up into this 5 minute / 15 minute fair value gap, right? And if we're going to be aiming for these lows to get taken out, right? You're not going to buy, right, when you're creating relatively equal lows, right? You're just liquidity. You know, so I'd rather wait for price to trade up into here, see if we get that shift in market structure. If not, this might hold, right? If we just trade to and through this 15-minute SIBI and we're still in that bullish order flow, right, this 1 minute should hold here. But right, I'd rather just wait, be patient. We're coming up on the second AM macro here in about, what is that, 13 minutes, 10 minutes or so. So right, we'll just sit and be patient here. Waiting for more information. Right now we're trading back up into that fair value gap, right? End up respecting this little shift in market structure here, right? So let's see if we build in some highs and lows inside of this 5 minute imbalance, right? Possibly get that short displacement to the downside, right? One scenario. Or price just bolts through this 5 minute / 15 minute fair value gap. Then we retrace back down into this. And then we get another shift in market structure to the upside, taking that fair value gap, executing, right, writing it long to our buy side liquidity targets up here. So let's see, right? Just waiting for more information. That is the key for today, right? We had a bank holiday yesterday, so you know, price you can see from here in the pre-New York Stock Exchange open, right? Candle bodies are just lack, right? They're lack thereof. So, right, really got to be patient. Because there's nothing else. We're creating relative equal highs on top of that 15-minute imbalance. All right, so we'll be patient. Sit, wait, be patient. Full tank on me when I hit the gas station. There, what you doing? All right, coming up on the second AM macro here in about 10 minutes. Probably won't stay on for the second AM macro here. All right, we'll just come back to price tomorrow, and we'll kind of take it from there, right? Not really looking to push too hard today, right? We got a pretty busy week coming up, and I think it's gonna be very solid, right? It'll be more one directional, and should give us more indication on what price wants to do. Right, should give us more indication on what price wants to do. Interesting though that it's building up relative equal highs. It's like it's building up buy side liquidity right on top of this inefficiency to target our sell side liquidity here. Brentwood, Oakland, Inglewood. Yeah, so we'll stay on about 10 more minutes or so to that second AM macro, and then we'll kind of call it a day there. Get ready for the rest of the week, right? CPI, PPI, a bunch of other news, red folder news specifically going on this week, right? Unemployment claims, Powell speaking on Thursday at 3 p.m., which is an odd time, but he's speaking then. And we got core retail sales at 8:30. And that's about it. But those are all in the early AM. So we should get some good price movement in one direction or the other. All right, which is what we want to see. Which is what we want to see. I got plenty of them. How I moved. All right, so we're taking out those lows. All right, those relatively equal lows. Yeah, rather just sit on the hand. We got a long way ahead of us. So, with that being said, appreciate everybody for tuning in. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Stay safe out there. And shout out Young FX pulling up in the chat. We'll see. I'll see you guys back on tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Take care. Peace out.